Okay, let's go over practicing test number 6. So question number 1. If x squared minus y squared equal 55 and x minus y is equal 5, then how much is y? So we have two variables and two equations. So we have to combine and solve as a system of equations. And that's going to be x squared minus y squared equal 55, x minus y is equal 5. Okay, so let's solve it. X squared minus y squared is, just to remind you, difference of squared. It's x minus y times x plus y, yes? Okay, so I'm writing down x minus y times x plus y is equal 55 and x minus y is equal 5. So since x minus 5 is equal 5, yes, I'm going to replace plug here. Okay? Okay. So what it's going to be? It's going to be 5 times x plus y is equal 55. Yes? And from here, if I divide by 5 both sides, I'm going to get x plus y is equal 11. Yes? Okay. So from here I am creating new system of equations, which is going to be x plus y equal 11. And I'm taking this one, x minus y, this one. And it's going to be x minus y is equal 5. So if I add them up, what's going to happen? These two are gone. I need to add. And we are getting 2x is equal 16. Right? X is equal 8. All right. So then x is equal 8. I can plug into either this one or this one. Right? So I'm plugging first one. So 8 plus y equal 11. So y from here equal 11 minus 8. It's going to be equal 3. Okay. So the answer is going to be C. Next one. The area of rectangle is 125. What is its perimeter, given that it can be divided into 5 equal squares? Okay. We have rectangle. So I prepared up front a rectangle with area 125. Whatever measurement is squared. And this is area. And we divide it into 5 equal rectangles. So this is supposed to be a rectangle. So approximately it is rectangle. So 5 equal rectangles, and we need to find the perimeter. Okay. The area of each square, so if the entire area is 125, and we have equal 5 rectangles, so the area for each square, area for square is equal 125 divided by 5, right? It's going to be 25. Correct? And if it's a square, So if it's area of square 25, then one side of the square it's going to be square root 25, correct? Why? Because the square, let me see where is square. If this is my square, square has equal sides, right? So if the area 25, right, for each one, so it's a times a, right? It's going to be 25. A times a is equal 25, which is a squared equal 25, which means a will be equal square root of 25, correct? Okay. So one side is 5. All right. And which means the length of a rectangle, for entire rectangle, if this is 5, each side is 5, 5, 5, 5, and 5, right? It's gonna be how many times? 25, correct? This one side, it's gonna be 25. So 25 is the length of rectangle. It's gonna be 25. And how about height? Since it's a square, height also gonna be 5, right? So height or width doesn't matter. Height of rectangle, not square, rectangle, is equal 5. So what is perimeter? Perimeter is equal, the formula for perimeter is equal twice length plus twice width. So length is your L, width is W, or height, doesn't matter. Or you can write down twice length plus W, right? Okay, so from here, perimeter is equal twice, length is 25, width is 5, and we are getting 60. Okay? Okie dokie, moving to next one. If 2x plus 3 is 5 less than 2y minus 6, okay? 2x plus 3 is equal to y minus 6 less 5, right? Then we need to calculate what amount x minus 4 is less than y. So we need to find x minus, let me write down this way. X minus 4 is equal y minus question mark, right? Okay. Well, let's solve it. What do we have here? 2x is equal to y minus, combining like term, well, once I move, it's going to be minus 6, minus 5, minus 3. We are getting 2x равня это equal to y minus 14. Well, x from here is equal y minus 7. Yes? Well, and if x is equal y minus 7, then what am I going to do? X from here, I'm going to bring this, x minus 4 is equal y minus 7, right? And minus 4. correct? And from here, what I will have, x minus 4 is equal y minus 11. All right? Okie dokie. So what did I do here to help you understand? So we had here x minus 4, right? What did I do? Since my x I know is equal y minus 7, right? I plug, instead of x, I plugged y minus 7. And this minus, I plugged y minus 7 and continued with minus 4. That's all I did. And I got x minus 4 equal y minus 11. All right, moving to next question. Question number 4. 30 less than 20% of 500 is equal to a number of increased by 40% of its variable. Calculate the number in question. Okay, let's number we need to calculate is equal, let's say, x. Okay, so what do we have? Increasing by 40%, by 20% of its value, which is going to be 0.2x, right? 20%. We don't use in the form of percentage. It's going to be 20 over 100, which is going to be 0.2, right? 0.2 times 500, right? 20% of 500, it's going to be 0.2 times 500. And then 30 less minus 30, right? And increased, it says is equal by 40% of its value. So it's going to be 140%. This 40%, this 40%, what that means, increase. So it was 100%, whatever we had, and this 100% went up by 40%. So it makes 140% together, right? Okay, value is, it was 100% and increase, so 140%. Representing in the format of decimal, 140 over 100, it's going to be 1.4. And that's how I get 1.4. Let me all this include in this. Okay, so that's going to be 140 of x. I mean 1.4 of x. 1.4 of x. Okay, so here we are getting what? 100 minus 30, it's getting 70, is equal 1.4x. And x is going to be equal 70 divided by 1.4, and we are getting 50. All right. Next question. Number 5, calculate the value of x for which expression is undefined. The expression is undefined when denominator is 0, which means x squared plus x minus 6 is equal 0. Factoring x plus 3, x minus 2 is equal 0. And from here x is equal negative 3, x is equal positive 2. So at these values, negative 3, positive 2. It's gonna expression becoming undefined. Question number 6. Calculate the range of function f of x is equal 3x minus 5, given that domain is limited by or restricted by x. It's restricted by negative 1 and positive 7. So let's find out the range. So if x is limited by negative 1 by 7, so let's find out how much will be a range at the point negative 1 and at the point of 7. If it's a limit of x, negative 1 and 7, let's find out what y is going to match to this negative 1 and positive 7. Accordingly, f of 7 is equal 3 times 7 squared. I'm plugging in this formula. I mean, in this, I'll do this way. Let me clean this. So we have f of x is equal 3x squared minus 5. Okay, now I'm plugging f of 7 is equal 3 times 7 squared minus 5, right, is equal 147 minus 5, which is 142. And f of negative 1, right, is equal 3 times negative 1 squared minus 5, right? So what is interesting here? It's 3 times negative 1 squared. It's going to give me 3, right? Positive value. So contribution of this x into 3x squared minus 5, it's going to be one way or another is going to be negative. I mean positive, right? For 3x squared, because we are squaring, and any negative number I will take, even if I take this negative 1, the ending point, I'm going to get positive, right? So if it's going to be positive, then I want to take the smallest value of positive, right? Because this is the lowest limit, right? The smallest number. And what will give me the smallest number? What will be the smallest number of the positive case? It's going to be 0, right? So if I take f of 0, it's going to be 3 times 0 squared minus 5, which is going to be 5, negative 5. I want you to understand well, because I have 3x squared here. So no matter what negative number I take, it's going to turn into positive, right? Which will not provide me the minimum, correct? It will not provide me minimum. Therefore, since it's going to be, no matter what, it's going to be positive. So I'm taking, instead of a negative 1, I'm taking 0, because that's the only one among positive results will provide, the 0 will provide the minimum result. That's why we take 3 times 0 minus 5, and it's going to be negative 5, which is going to give you result D. And lastly, calculate the value of negative x cubed times z to power 4. So let's see, negative x cubed z to power 4 is equal negative 2 cubed times negative 2 to power 4. What do we have? Negative 2 cubed is going to be negative 8, and times negative 2 to power 4 is 16, right? So it's going to be equal negative 108, which is going to be equal positive 108. Okie dokie. See you next video. I hope you enjoyed it, you liked it, and you learned most importantly. All right.